The Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered Collection has been met with a lot of praise, even though it's actually been surrounded in a little bit of controversy, and now we're finding out that despite the promise the games would appear in their original forms, they actually decided to censor risque graphics within this game. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, this Tomb Raider Remastered Collection was one that was very highly anticipated. I know a lot of people were extremely excited for it to finally release, and overall it is being received pretty positively, but we are now finding out that they actually did not stick by their word, and they actually did decide to censor some graphics found in this game. So in the latest example of don't trust anything a video game developer promises until you see it with your own eyes, despite the game's eye-rolling disclaimer informing players that the collected titles would be presented in their original form unaltered, it has been found that the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered has censored a risque illustration found in the series' first entry. Now, right off the bat, you can see that it, of course, went from being full topless nudity to no nudity. She is now wearing a bikini, and this change, I'm sure, will not come as a surprise to many of you, but it will also be disappointing to some of you. But I think it's important to start this video off with saying, I understand that we are talking about a graphic on a jacket, but that is not the point. If you look at this and say this is a pedantic situation and, oh, it's just a jacket, the whole political correctness movement and censoring content and throwing source material out the window is all going way over your head, because this is how it starts, okay? They start by sneaking in the smallest changes, and the first argument everyone will make is the originals were rated T for teen, so it was an oversight when they were originally rated, and I would get that argument if it was the same T rating with this collection, but it's not. They bumped up the rating, and this collection is rated M for mature, and what falls under M? Nudity. It's not like they got a higher rating for this one jacket, because we now know that they censored it, and nudity does fall under M, so there was really no reason for them to censor this. And of course, if this wasn't that big of a deal, why did they go in and change it? Why would they go in and alter this graphic if it wasn't that big of a deal? Because clearly it was that big of a deal to them. Of course, now we have to get into the fact that they lied with their original statement. I did cover this in another video. I'm sure you all have seen it, but this was the disclaimer that was released, and of course is at the beginning of the games when you first load them up. It says the games in this collection contain offensive depictions of people and cultures rooted in racial and ethnic prejudices. These stereotypes are deeply harmful, inexcusable, and do not align with our values at Crystal Dynamics. Rather than removing this content, we have chosen to present it here in its original form, unaltered, in the hopes that we may acknowledge its harmful impact and learn from it. And obviously they are here primarily talking about what they deem offensive depictions of people and cultures, but they go on to say how they wanted to preserve these games and they wanted to present the games in their original forms unaltered, when the lie detector has now determined that that's a lie. Someone clearly went in and drew this bathing suit in. Plus, it's not just in the new graphics mode, and they left it in the original as some kind of like Easter egg. People would have also been happy with that. It is in the original censored as well, though they said, you know, the original graphics and content weren't touched. Well, guess what? They were. Despite it, yes, at this point, just being one image on the back of one jacket that you could see under a specific circumstance, they still said that nothing was changed. And this is on top of the fact that the publisher, of course, put out this content warning, and it states that nothing was altered in the game. I mean, this is just disappointing to see that not only did they decide to go in and alter this content, but they also had put out this content disclaimer talking about how, oh, it was going to, you know, they wanted to highlight these games in their original state. A lot of people were extremely excited to see this new updated Laura model. The game looks beautiful with the new graphics mode. I mean, a lot of people are very happy with the way that the game looks in general. She is very busty, of course. She's got all of the great assets that she originally had, but it is still disappointing to see that they have gone down this path because, again, it might be this one instance right now, but things end up piling up and situations become larger because once the companies have gotten you comfortable with accepting, oh, it's just one graphic in one game, what happens when it's two graphics in a game or three graphics in a game, and then situations spiral out of control. That is why I talk about censorship so much on this channel, because I'm an adult. I can buy an M for mature game and thoroughly enjoy the experience, and I can see, cleavage if I want. I can see breasts if I want. It's a image on the back of the jacket, and again, as an adult, I should be able to, decide what content I want to play, and these are no longer T for T games. And I did put up a pretty short post on this talking about how pathetic it was, and it's got 1.1k likes, but I wanted to show some of the comments. People are saying things, the game allows you to swap between graphics, right? Why is it censored in both? Sadly, I somewhat understand why they changed it, since heaven forbid see a woman's nipples, it could corrupt their minds, but ultimately it means the warning label is a lie. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we also have a full list of everything that was altered in this game, so over the next couple of days as people are playing through them, there may be more instances. It's just this one is obviously, the first one that people have noticed. I'm happy I didn't buy it. I was really looking forward to playing the old Tomb Raider games again. This is just sad. It's absolutely pathetic. So they're liars as well as cowards. This is the problem, is they came out with this dumb content warning, boasted about how, well, we just put this disclaimer on it, but we tried to preserve the content for the audience. And now we see that, well, they might have, unaltered content in this game that they may deem offensive, but there is also content in these titles that are altered. It's just disappointing because, again, it might just be this one instance right now that we know of, but at the same time, it is still censorship nonetheless, and it's censorship they ultimately lied about. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.